Okay, we're back. Let's do this. Everything's quiet. We don't seem to have triggered an alarm. Why would you say that? Haven't been discovered yet. Hopefully everything will continue on smoothly. Stop saying things! Oh my god, stop cursing us. Still no alarm. Almost too good to be true. Yeah, that's one way to put it. Yeah, screwdriver. Ah, the niche is over on that niche. Over there is a console that'll give us access to the communications network. Let me at this thing. I'll try to manipulate the console so that the showing is blocked from the AI as long as possible. After this, I'm sure we'll have AI and security forces down our necks. Be prepared for a tough battle. Joe inserts the data tape with the recording of the life on this world into the console and messes with it for a while. That's it. Documentation's going out on all video screens and loudspeakers starting now. To the... Shh. Skip that. They're the terrorists! Oh, Jesus. Secu 2 and Secu 1. Well, let's see how we do. This, yeah, this should be fun. Or we could run. Why no parking, though? It doesn't make any sense. Does he just hate parking? Is that what it is? Ooh. Oh, man, they hurt. They hurt. Oh. Okay. I mean, yeah, no, it makes perfect sense that guns would hurt. In fact, I imagine I'm supposed to be using the gun for this part of the story. I just kind of can't. Hello, Junior Shire. Listen, Archer's junk is tight. Sorry. Yeah, this could be interesting. I like how they're like, they're terrorists, but, you know, all we're doing is being like, hey, you attacked us, guys. That's all I'm saying. I mean, if any place needs parking, it's Major Cities Act half, so that would make sense. So how you liking this boss music? Jeez Louise. I'm not sure if I can do this fight. Yeah, I'm out of frosts too. flee. Well, if nothing else, several of our people have already fled, so they'll live. Even as the rest of us die. Thank you, S. Diesel. As always and ever, much appreciate. Thank you. I'll put that down towards Lufia 2. I kind of doubt it, Dakota, but only because I looked up specifically what it works on. There's actually another type of enemy I haven't seen yet that it works on, but it's not the Secus. Yeah, this is, if I hadn't already given a negative for the trash problem, I feel like it would have happened around here. I glanced ahead at the walkthrough, and yeah, this isn't our final fight. There's quite a few after this. Not counting the optional fight and the final fight. The actual final fight is a joke, and the optional fight is technically the last boss battle, but again, it's optional. So I'm not sure what the actual final fight will be. Well, I'd answer you, Junior Shire, but I'm afraid that we here at the Lore Runner do not condone the cool crime of emulation. But I'm sure someone in chat could help you with that. It depends on the game, Billar. What it really boils down to, if you were to summarize it, is how much work has been done by either companies or fans to make the game working. Like later this month, we'll be playing Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 1. Which, there is a fan patch to get that game running. Otherwise, it's actually impossible to get it running on a modern system. If it makes you feel any better, you're not the first person to tell me that, S. Diesel. So if we can get this Secu 2 down. And yeah, it is also still possible to run into issues, and there's a pretty good chance we'll have at least a few issues. But in this case, this is a quick and dirty, because this is just a game that was properly emulated onto DOSBox and is sold on GOG. Boom, done. So this is a quick and dirty. Something like VTMB1, that takes a little bit of work, and then something like, say, Alpha Centauri, we're going to have to work around for that one, and so forth and so on. It depends, really is the question. It takes some work. Thank you, Leteralis, very, very much, as always. Much appreciated. And no, for the sake of a review, we're not going Malkavian, for reasons that I probably don't need to elaborate on. And if you know where you want that to go, Leteralis, please let me know. Damn it, we didn't get him. Oh, there we go. Okay, we're doing alright, we're doing alright. Shuffle over here. We might actually manage this fight. That's a lot of gear. Including some bullets, which I'm going to take, because why not? And pistols. Several pistols. And you know who has a good long-range ability? Are these worth a darn? No, I don't think so. What are these? Those are 15 damage short-range weapons. Yeah, I'll take, like, all of those. Holy crap. I should probably take all the pistols, too. This actually feels like here's the gear you're going to need for the dungeon fight, now that I'm thinking about it. Because later on we have to fight AIs, which are much harder than people. Do you have to be blaring the alarm the whole time while I'm slowly getting caught up on healing? Yeah, what do you want to bet it doesn't stop for the whole last dungeon? You all know that I'm harsher about intros and outros than any other part of game design. And if this plays, if this is the music that plays for the entire outro... Aiden Chronicles, you got it, Leteralis. Thank you again. What's funny is there's a couple examples of this kind of, alarm thing that don't bother me. And by a couple, I mean it's Metroid. I'm sure there's other examples, but let's be honest, it's Metroid. Can have a weapon. Can he... He can. Excellent. So let's go ahead and toss those over to him. And... So hey, he can have a shield again. Which is funny, because he's about to get rid of his shield. So we'll give that to him. Although I could give him the gun instead, but I think I'll just put the gun on one person, because ammo. Oh, never mind, he can't wear that shield. I've changed my mind. Have a gun. Aw, he can't wear the... Aw, he can't use the gun. Aw. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. Here, you... Where's the bullets? Where'd I put the bullets? Where the bullets end up? Are those all the bullets? Just ignore that sound. No. Yeah, there we go. Grab about half of them. Put them over here. Just to, make my point really quick here. Ham. Headaches starting, or I shouldn't call it, it is a migraine. Migraine's starting to go down. I mean, if the bullet connects, the spell goes off. That just sounds like a cool mechanic to me. I'm hoping it'll stop as soon as we enter the dungeon, which is not far from here. But just to make the point, give me one moment, because I actually have a Metroid playlist. Even Other M does this better. To wit... Now, this song would get old over time, but it's also a song that plays for a relatively small section of the game, about 3 minutes total. And I'm not going to make you listen to the whole thing, but I mean, that's just an example of how to do that idea better, It's not perfect. You could also do this. Another Metroid example. Who else am I giving a gun? Right. That's what I was doing. I can give credits to Other M. I don't care for the game, but, I've also never reviewed it, so who knows. Is this a two-hander? This is a two-hander. Well, whatever. It's still better than what you had. I think. Actually, I'm gonna laugh if it wasn't. Oh my god, it's actually less damage. Never mind. Go back to your spear. I don't have Wonder Woman's theme, and even if I did, it would be copy wrong to hell and back. One last one. This is just kind of a Metroid thing, I'm glad you liked it, S. Diesel. But apparently 100% of the comments are people telling me if they like the intro song or not. I'm being facetious. It makes sense to, mention that. No, it's a one-hander, he just can't dual-wield them. Nah! You give me all this crazy tech gun stuff, and I can't use any of it. Oh, whatever. You have a weapon. I mean, you can dual wield, it's just I apparently can't dual wield with that. Whatever. Whatever. Anyways, enough points made. You ready for some noise? Here, we'll turn it up only a little bit. There we go. Alright, so. Well, hey, it stopped. I just had to leave the room. That's not bad at all. Negative rescinded. For now. But soon, all the manips, all the negatives. Oh, here's a game I haven't played in forever. Pokemon Yellow. I own it. It's actually right over there. Okay, dungeon time. Now, this isn't the largest dungeon in the game. We've already been through that. This is a pretty big one, and there's a lot of service robots in here. Crystal's another game I own. No. Alright, let's see how we do. Whatever. You know what? Do that. Yeah. Yep. Sorry. Oh my god! Oh! Yes, I did, Roaring Metalman. So that was one hit that connected for 50. In case you missed that. I mean, doesn't that make sense, Dakota? No, I'm fine with them being the 3D thing, Crazy Horse. It's a nice stylistic thing. And it kind of encourages me to actually try and have a bit of a mental layout. And of course we've got the map, which fills out as we go anyways. That's cool too. Look, I'm just saying, cleaning droids are terrifying. Truly terrifying. Yeah, we had, let's see, we had the Prodigy thing. Actually, let's do this. The Prodigy thing, the... keep healing. Discovery Season 4 thing, which looks incredibly disinteresting. And then we have... Lower Decks had a release, which I haven't seen that. And Picard had a thing. And I think that's all the trailers we got on First Contact Day. Could be wrong. Alright, get out of here. I love wasting my incredibly finite bullets here. Yeah, Dreer is kind of handling these. I mean, don't mistake me, the guns are okay, but you notice most of my shots are missing because they're dead by the time the shots happen. In fact, I'm only shooting for about 12. To really put this into perspective. What was I wrong about, Blue of Alex? Sorry, I'm missing some context there. Okay. Yeah, no, industrial robots. Oh, yeah, Lower Decks wasn't out yet when I recorded that video. Cool, Alex. So... I usually say stuff like that to specifically give people a range and date for when things are recorded so they can keep track. Like, I could manually look up the date if I had to, but you get my point. Okay, so that worked out pretty well. Yeah, if I vanished... Oh no, it's actually 2 years, Kira White Noise. You would keep getting videos until 2023 if I died tonight, right here, live on camera. Okay. Yeah, this is the first time I've heard this song, I think. Could be wrong. I don't know. Migraine is slowly going down. Well, they live a ways from me now, Roaring, so that's unlikely to happen anytime soon. And probably never again, if I'm being honest. It's just too much of a security risk at this point. I actually thought about moving back in with my sister, but then I realized that I stream for a living. So that's probably never happening again. Yeah, I live alone. I've lived alone for some time. How's it a security risk? Look up swatting sometime. Screwdriver. Thank you, Ginger Overseer, very, very much. I hope you will similarly tolerate my hating Bloodborne when we finally play it. Because I'm not going to like that game. Guaranteed. I don't know how it's going to review. But that is at best getting the coffee tag. Okay. There we go. I mean, that sounds a little bit painful, Gun, but I'm not sure why you'd aim for the crotch. Yeah, Bloodborne gets to me. I don't know if I'd call it depressing. It's more like it's just gross. Speaking of gross, Hollow Knight. Oh my gosh. Go! Oh my god, it keeps not taking my inputs. Because I have to hit go. There we go. Okay. Well, there's a lot of people who like Bloodborne. In fact, I know several people who listed it as their favorite Souls, whatever that's called. Souls-like? I don't know. I'm sure it's a good game. I just hate it. That's how that works. Oh, I don't know, Blue Felix. That would have been, I want to say October of 2019-ish, give or take. Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah. Because then it was then, and then I took a break to start doing that last October. And that's when I got all of the remainder of TOS done. And then there was AGDQ this year where I got a little bit more. I got up through Season 3 of Enterprise. And then the stream break I just did is when I finished Enterprise and then did TAS. And the videos, the movies, obviously. What am I doing? Where am I? Oh, I see where I am. Ah! Yeah, the AI isn't evil, the corporations are evil. I mean, the corporation is incredibly evil. Any corporation that's cool with literally destroying a planet for not even a particularly good reason. Sekiro was okay, but I couldn't beat it, so that's whatever. Yeah, the AI is doing its job. It's like blaming a typewriter for... That's a bad example. It's like blaming a hammer for, being hit by a hammer and it hurting. One thing. Yeah, we already streamed and reviewed Sekiro. And I didn't get that many negative comments about it. I'm very surprised by that. I got like 2 when it was live, and then that's it. It's been legit ever since. Go figure. Notice how we once again have a different type of gimmick for our puzzle here for the last dungeon. So that trend continues. Exactly, Crazy Norse. I get far more positive comments than negative. Just look at the comments on the 2 episodes that went live this week for The Cage and for Broken Bow. Bow. Aside from the obvious people correcting me on pronunciations, which is just, at this point, that's just normal. There's been mostly good stuff. And by mostly, I mean ridiculously, overwhelmingly majority. Or put this another way, I haven't had to delete a single comment. And that's not true. I haven't had to delete any non-bot comment. That's a better way to put that. There we go. Okay. Because I get bots every single video I upload. 100% of them. It's usually just 1 or 2 bots per video. And they just, like, hey, you should click this thing. It's like, oh, I'm cool. Oh god, the wall! Alright, Dreer, I got a job for you. Flee. Use magic. Hurry on Dreer. Something like that. Yeah, you know what? I'm okay with not encountering certain fandoms. Because I don't want to interact with certain fandoms. And I'm okay with that. I mean, we're already still at the point where the new Trek stuff and the recent sequel trilogy are still, you know, no territory. $1 million we're getting voted for the next Rumination cycle, Jennifer Rowan. Sometime around, it's going to be October of this year, is when you'll be able to nominate the 2024 Ruminations. Nominate and vote on. No, I'm actually with you. It may sound like a minor distinction, but for example, I don't consider myself a brony, even though I do enjoy My Little Pony. It's the same general concept. Yeah, I think he's actually already out of ammo. Yep, he has 2 shots left. Wow. Let's see if he can dual wield these. Oh, I can't access their inventory. Not too shabby. Wait. Okay, too late. It's okay. Everyone's here now, so where's the other one? Where's my other shock things? Did I get rid of them? Oh, I guess I put them on here. Let's do this. Let's see if we can dual wield these. We cannot. Okay. Oh, I sincerely doubt anybody who is a brony would watch any of my stuff. Which, you know what? I'm okay with that. There we go. I mean, in fairness, the same probably goes for most fandoms at this point. There are only a couple of exceptions to that. And what's funny is most of those exceptions tend to be pretty cool. Let me give you an example of that. This is no longer true, really, but for a while there I was actually pretty well known in the Asheron's Call community just because I was one of the few people who actually was covering Asheron's Call. And the AC community is pretty legit, so yeah, that was just people being cool and sharing enthusiasm. Jesus Christ, look at all these hits. Yeah, the WoW community has been mostly positive, too, on my show. Not entirely, I'm not going to lie, but overwhelmingly positive. The main negative I had from the WoW community was this one extremely weird person who insisted that I was unreliable because it was proven that at one point in time I said something that wasn't true. And, like, you couldn't listen to anything I said because this one time I said one thing that was wrong, and they just would not shut up about that. In every... They comment... It was during the WoW Low Run. They commented on almost every WoW Low Run video for weeks. Same thing each time. You are proven to be untrustworthy. I can't trust a single word that comes out of your mouth. And the whole thing was just, like, actually insane. It was very, very unusual. Kind of creepy. Okay, where are we at? So many service droids. But I'm not insane. Crazy, sure, but you can't call me insane. It doesn't work that way. I didn't delete any of them, Loner. I am actually, all joking aside, I'm really strict about the kind of comments I will delete. Like, you have to go pretty far for me to be willing to delete your comment. Good morning, Groxix. Are we gonna kill this thing anytime soon? Jesus Christ. That took a minute. Yeah, probably, Mr. Red. I have to admit, percentage-wise, I would say that I encounter far more decent people in WoW than bad. How many seeds do you have left? Ugh, only 15. See you around, Tazara. Tazara was never heard from again. Die. Oh my gosh. You know what? I have a thought. This is neat and all, and I could totally do this, but you know what I'd rather do? Is start Dragon Quest today. Who wants to start Dragon Quest today? Kira White knows this is actually your decision. Because you're the one who gets to have the say in this. Yeah, as I say, I can absolutely do this. I'm proving. That's actually part of why I haven't turned dev mode back on. I've been trying to prove that I could beat this game right now, as is, without cheating. And I think I have proven that. It would be a long, slow haul, because what I'd have to do is after every combat, I have to do what I'm doing right now. Alright, hang on. Hang on. There we go. And now, hang on. Now I gotta do the mana potions. And you get the idea. I'm not gonna do the whole thing, but you get the idea. I could absolutely make this happen. Now, it's not a balance problem. This is actually reasonably well balanced compared to some other sections of the game. It's just long. For reasons we've already discussed. There we go. So we're now cheating. Yeah, honestly, the dungeon just before this... Oh, speaking of which, did I ever give a negative for that? Because I absolutely need to give a negative for that dungeon. Yeah. Sorry. Negative to the slog from earlier. From yesterday. Whoops, that's the wrong symbol. Okay. Where are we at? Oh, I'm sorry, Blue Fox. I did miss your question. Yeah, I'm going to do a room on this. Oh my god, look at how many enemies are in that room. No pun intended. Look at this place. What are... Hang on, I'm going to warp around a little bit. Yeah, that's what I thought. Those are just lasers. And... lasers, yep. This is the reset point, the biggest reset point of the game, by the way, for speedruns, is right here, because what they do is they get to 85 luck and they have to go through without dying. Just go through these lasers rather than solve the puzzle. We've succeeded in getting this far, but now... So, you remember what I mentioned about how, technically, I was curious which fight is the final fight? It's probably going to be one of those service finals, because this is an optional fight. Forget it, show's over, Driscoll. Put your weapons down. Colonel Priver, let me explain. There's nothing to explain, Driscoll. Put the weapon down and lie flat on the ground. So... there's two options here. We can kill them in the face, or we can talk them down. Stay calm for a moment, Priver. By all means, stay calm and nothing will happen to you. Did you see the documentary about the world on the video screens? Do you believe we'd let ourselves be influenced by your ridiculous propaganda film? Would you be so good as to look at my companions? Do they look as if they came from the ship? What other proof do you need? The recordings are real. That's the world, what the world we're destroying looks like. What should I care about the film you brought with you? It won't make us ignore orders. The documentary's been seen everywhere on board. Some probably don't believe it, some probably don't care. However, you know the personality profiles of the crew. Most of them are not willing to destroy a life-filled world. Aside from the fact that the crew was deceived by the company, just like you and your men were. With all due respect, sir, he's not wrong. Nonsense! Don't let yourself be influenced by all this chatter. Think about all the creatures you had to fight during the mining. How could there be such beings on a planet which supposedly has no life? You and your people are being fooled by the company. Unrest spread amongst Priver's people. Voicing agreements with Tom's arguments are raised. I have never given in to talk, Driscoll. Please, Priver, ignore for a moment that we can't stand each other personally, and just think about the situation. The truth about this world can't be suppressed forever. It's just a desperate act of the company, which has risked bankruptcy with this ship. We have the motivation to save this world from destruction. What motivation do you have now? Priver's people are now openly calling for agreement. Tom has convinced most of them. Well, looks like you won, Driscoll. An awful situation. I can't wait to find out what's going to happen now. Men, you're saying you're with this troublemaker, right? Just bear in mind we must face the consequences together, whatever they may be. Withdraw! So that could be the final boss fight. It's supposedly a very difficult fight. But now we have to do our victory lap. Man, I'm happy we didn't have to fight this time. I knew some of those guys personally. Okay, to the reactor room. So this is the final encounter. This is the Marauder shields of the game. Now, it is actually possible to kill the AI core. It takes a very specific setup, and effectively not so much bugging out the game as exploiting systems that weren't really supposed to be used in that way in the game. Just as the companions think they've made it, they see a jet black cylinder standing in front of the reactor core. Only a red light control and a device that seems to have been hastily added to the side interrupt the polished surface. It's the actual housing of the AI. Correct. After Colonel Prever and his men violated their employment contracts, I see that I am forced to prevent another further malicious destruction of private property myself. Nothing changes, Carwelos. It just plays the cutscene as if you did what we're about to do. This barrel is supposed to be a danger to us? I can't believe that. I don't know, that thing on the side looks like a high-powered laser to me. The AI attacks. Da-da-da-da-da. Okay, so. Start around. Instant death. Start around. Instant death. That thing will destroy us. Damn, the housing's indestructible. It can't end like this. We've come so far. Tom, look, the seed. It's beginning to glow. You're right. Okay, this is our last chance. In desperation, we throw the seed towards the reactor core, and time. The seed becomes the center of a shining light. The seed detonated the reactor. We're dead! As a trembling passes through the enormous structure of the Toronto. At first inaudible, the metal vibrates louder and louder while pale sparkling lights crawl over the hull. Suddenly shoots and blossoms in uncountable colors break through the metal. The steel screeches as it's torn apart and distorted by the force of the plants. Most expensive piece of the entire game is that animation we just saw right there. Hey Hector Anthem, welcome to the end of the game. There's another expensive animation. Oh, that's just a transition, that's not expensive. Even those crew members who are not convinced by the documentation flee frightfully from the ship. When they emerge into the open, the Toronto presents an unbelievable sight. The effect of the seed is simpler than its creators believed, and yet stronger than anyone held possible. Within minutes, the giant installation of the Toronto has been destroyed. Destroyed or recreated. The gigantic manifestation of the terrestrial technology is replaced by an oasis in the middle of the desert. This one time, the irrational and magical have prevailed against the power of calculating reason. A little heavy-handed there. I think so. Thank you, Hector Anthem, for the sub very much. Do you happen to know where you want to put it? And if we have a mod on, they can get you an invite. But otherwise, I'm afraid there is no hope. We're alive. We're alive! Look at that, everything's overgrown with plants. Great! The clean, pristine facility, which is the only place that had decent lighting, is now gross and overgrown. Oh, that sucks. Yes, the metal colossus is dead. No, it is alive now. The energy is gone. The AI is gone. I still can't believe we survived. Let's try to get out of here. I wonder what Toronto looks like from the outside. I feel like how it rezzed them so they would be in the cutscene. Wow, the sea took its job quite literally. What a sight. That's what I call magic. Fantastic! I can tell you that alone was worth the danger. And getting shot like 30 times by a death laser. It's beautiful. What an irony. Without the ship's immeasurable energy, such a feat would not have been possible. The wound in Anima Bona's side has been closed. The pain is gone. The great adventure is over, friends. Now we must get back to everyday business. Over there are a number of men and women, including one I care a lot about, to whom I have to explain that this world is now their home, and their only future. Hey, I stranded you all here. Hope you like it. So we got the Sith over there. Those people, well, if you're into furries, you're happy there. Those people have just invented indoor plumbing. Oh, actually, that's not true either. The end. And that's it, apparently. Wow. Old RPGs, am I right? A winner is you! The end. That's true, Kira. That's true. Well, that was Albion. I was debating a story negative for the ending, honestly, because it got a little heavy-handed and a little But I don't know if that's a full negative, and I don't have another aggregate to add that to, so I'm probably going to just walk away from that. And yeah, this is why I think we could start Dragon Quest today. It's because we just kind of skipped through the last floor there, and it's like, hey! Alright, so... story-wise, we have doodad design, world building, the biology and culture, the Iskai, the intro, the Celts, political intrigue of the Third Island, the Toronto sequence, which is great, probably my favorite story beat the whole game, visual storytelling, which is some good stuff, and reasonable NPCs, but there is that sort of weird roaming no plot, no goal section of the game, which kind of drags the narrative down. Overall, leaving us with a +8 to story. Which, yeah, I'm with it. But then we have to look at the gameplay. So this is actually a little out of date. We're actually up to +3 on gameplay. Almost entirely for dungeon design. Yes, I have, and it's garbage. Yes, Diesel. I never beat it, though. Negatives. Well, hang on. So I have a pile of negatives I need to shove together, probably into aggregates. Did I already? Nope. Do. And this one. So, I'm just going to add 2 additional negatives for bad HUD and bad interface, just to summarize those, I think. Which leaves us with 13 gameplay negatives, or a net -10 to gameplay. Wow. I know we've all talked about games that are, you play for the story, but I think that might be our biggest spread so far. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that, but yikes. But I stand by it, to be completely blunt. Final thoughts. Yeah, this is a play with cheats game. Absolutely. And there are built-in cheats. You have to look it up. You have to type in a secret code, and then hit Alt F12 and rebind something. But yeah, no, this is there's some decency here, and that's the final thing. I'm going to talk about this in the rumination as well. It's surprising how decent this game is, considering the fact that it's terrible. You know what I mean? As I've said before, it's obvious that the people who are making this actually gave enough of a damn to bother in several respects. It's just they made so many gameplay design decisions that... And so we talked about this during the comparison between Pokemon Black and White and Pokemon Sword and Shield. Because Sword and Shield had an excellent gameplay interface, the core mechanics and whatnot. And Black and White had substantially better content, the specific encounters, the Pokemon involved, the boss design, the dungeon design, etc. This had both of these. The content of the gameplay, other than the dungeons, is just ugh, and the structure of playing the game is a huge number of those negatives. This is a game that desperately could use a proper remake. Not a remaster, not a port, an actual remake, going through and just overhauling the nature of how you play the game, which would substantially balance out that gameplay score, I think. Yeah, like sit down, really work on the Camulos dungeon. The 2 dungeons I think that really need the biggest work are the Camulos dungeon and the former dungeon. Both of those are just not good for various reasons. And just polish out the combat, smooth out the grid system. I mean, the grid system is not a terrible idea, but they don't really do anything with it. It's very, very threadbare, and it's actually more of a hindrance to the gameplay than anything else. Yeah, have the ability to highlight interactables or distribute them in a different way or showcase them in a different way. Excuse me. Have actual tooltips and HUD design. Okay, real talk, Von Falkenstein. Just yesterday, because I trawl for news regularly, right? For lore weeks. Just yesterday, I saw a news tidbit, and the headline for the news thing was, single-player games are just now starting to make a comeback. So that was either a troll or an idiot who wrote that, but I just had to comment on that. This came out in 1995, S.A. Ross. It actually says that right there. Copyright 1995, Blue Byte Software. Yeah, it's either a troll or clickbait or an idiot, like I said. Anyways. Point being, I really feel this game could handle this. It needs several. It doesn't need a polishing pass. It needs an overhaul pass. It needs to be chonk. And honestly, most of the gameplay mechanics kind of need to be thrown out the window entirely and bring in something new. Takoida mentioned, possibly jokingly earlier, the gameplay being styled after Tactics Ogre, but actually I kind of agree with that idea. I think really committing to this being a turn-based, grid-based tactical RPG would substantially help the combat, with some modern interface and modern HUD design. And then the dungeons are actually kind of okay. With only the two exceptions, the dungeons are fine. So just kind of interpret the dungeons into a new system and keep the old style of it. Story's actually legit. I don't want to oversell the story, but it hooked me pretty well early on. The world building is fascinating, and they did a lot to really flesh out most aspects of it. The biggest problem, I think, narratively speaking, is character. You notice I didn't give a single positive for characters, and I don't plan to, because most of the characters don't really have much character, They're there, and they're not bad, they're just there, And, of course, the plot is interesting, the setting is interesting, and so forth and so on. The themes, I'm not really with the themes, and it got pretty heavy-handed towards the end there, but I can let that go in the face of everything else. Yes, it does. Having some kind of maybe, so one thing they could do, I've seen several games do this, is when we make camp, when we rest, they could have those be little Normandy sections. Hey, backstory, interaction between characters, stuff like that, right? That could have been the mechanism they use in order to flesh out the party members and have them get to know each other and have us get to know them as we're going through it. Just spitballing there. But yeah, that is this. I'm going to go ahead and work on the rumination. Normally I take the remainder of the day, but since we finished this so early, honestly, we would have finished this 40 minutes ago, but I had to call my dad. Not that I feel bad about that. It's my dad's birthday. It was good to see him. But we're going to go ahead and commit to starting Dragon Quest in the second stream block, which for those of you who don't remember, starts at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm going to go ahead and get working in that room, and I'll see you all in, looks like about 4 hours. That doesn't sound right. No, that's right.